What advice would you give? Obviously, he's going to get this advice from his dad, and he's been through it as an offensive coordinator before. What advice would you give Kyle Shanahan going into his first Super Bowl based on your experience back in the day in Tampa with the Ravens?
Well, the good thing for Kyle is, like you said, he grew up with it. I mean, he sat at dinner every night talking football with his dad and has been through these so many times because of his dad. He's got a lot of, although I remember, and, I obviously didn't have that experience. I remember, a number of coaches reached out, and Dan Reeves reached out to me, which I thought was great. I had played under Dan, and he sat in for a good hour and a half telling me about how to orchestrate the week and what you needed to do. And then when he got done, he says, well, you know what? I haven't won one of these things, so just do the opposite of everything I just told you. The biggest advice that you get, and it's legitimate, is you basically have got to use this week because of just the hectic nature of what it is down at the Super Bowl site. You got to get everything in. You have to have the game plan in. We had our entire game plan in. We could have played that first Sunday of the bye week by design, and so you get it all in. And of course, the first part of the week is all the, you really have to rely on your administrative staff because the tickets and the cars and the flights and you get all that behind you. You kind of mentally get the game plan in so that when you get down to the site itself, now you just have to kind of freshen it up. And practice is really kind of a relief because it gets you away from the madness that's going on. It's the only thing that feels normal to you during the week of Super Bowl is actually being out of practice.
What was the biggest distraction? We in the media talk about distractions because we actually like when something does come up that we could bite into, that maybe we're a factor in everything. What was happening with your team at the time, Brian?
Well, we had a pretty experienced team, and I'll say the league actually does a pretty good job. Early on it's a little hectic. But by the time you get to Wednesday and really start your preparation, they dial it back. I was always more concerned and caution them about, look, don't load too much up on your own plate. I mean, all these guys have their own radio and TV deals and whatever. And of course, I started the week out by accusing the amassed media of being ambulance chasers and so that started the week out just right when it had to do with the Ray Lewis situation and all that.
Right.
So that kind of set a tone that made it kind of interesting.
So how did that work for you when you called them ambulance chasers? What were you trying to create there?
Not real well, other than we kicked the you-know-what out of New York. Had we lost, it would have not gone well. But I always had a dream. I always wished I could have gotten back to that second Super Bowl. Because after I stood up there and basically called them ambulance chasers and that they weren't qualified to do what they were doing and whatever, I was dying to the next time I could get in that situation to step into that news conference and say, and another thing.
Yeah, I guess because, again, coaches will try and, put some sort of firewall around their team. I don't know. Obviously, I don't think either one of these teams have to do that. I do remember when I was covering the Super Bowl, another Super Bowl in Tampa between the Steelers and the Cardinals, that Ken Wisenhunt was full on employing the "nobody believes in us" card. I mean, just he was playing. Sure. He was dealing that card to basically everybody. Like he was somebody like handing out business cards at some sort of convention. Like here's my "nobody believes in us" card, and it almost worked.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Us against the world, and now you're right. I don't think these two teams both are so strong in what they do, although the style is certainly different. And it'd be hard for the coach to get up there and play that card because obviously Kansas City is so highly thought of, and certainly San Francisco and everything that they're doing, they'll find something else to feel disrespected.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.